Ukrainian forces fought Friday to hold back a Russian advance on the capital, Kyiv, amid warnings the city could fall within hours or days, and as officials handed out weapons to reservists. Russia's military claimed Friday afternoon that its forces had staged a successful landing operation to capture Hostomel airfield on Kyiv's outskirts, viewed as strategically important. CNN could not immediately corroborate those claims, but a CNN team on the ground witnessed Russian airborne troops taking positions at the airfield Thursday. Before dawn Friday, explosions lit up the sky above the capital as Russia targeted the city with missile strikes, according to a Ukrainian government advisor. A CNN team reported hearing two large blasts in central Kyiv, and a third loud explosion in the distance, followed by at least three more explosions to the southwest of the city a few hours later. Strikes on Kyiv with cruise or ballistic missiles continued, Anton Gyashenko, advisor to the head of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, told reporters via text message Friday. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry said Russian reconnaissance troops had entered the Obolin district of northern Kyiv, just a few miles from the city center. Videos from the area showed chaotic scenes as civilians tried to hide from small arms fire. A tweet from the ministry asked citizens of the district to report any suspicious movements, adding, "Make Molotov cocktails and take down the occupier." CNN witnessed a group of Ukrainian security forces leave the city police headquarters with weapons and ammunition, apparently heading towards Obolin. As Russian troops advance, U.S. intelligence officials are concerned that Kyiv could fall under Russian control within days, according to two sources familiar with the latest intelligence. U.S. officials warned lawmakers that Russian forces who entered Ukraine through Belarus were about 20 miles, 32 kilometers, away from Kyiv, sources told CNN. The Ukrainian Defense Ministry said airborne assault troops blew up a bridge over the Teteriv River at Ivankiv, about 30 miles north of Kyiv, successfully preventing a Russian column of forces from advancing towards the capital, which has a population of close to 3 million. For now, Ukraine's democratically elected government remains intact, but President Volodymyr Zelensky warned in a video address late Thursday that enemy sabotage groups had entered this city, and he is their no. One target. They want to destroy Ukraine politically by destroying the head of state, he said. Russian forces continued to launch missile strikes on the territory of Ukraine. They say that they are only targeting military facilities, but these are lies. In fact, they do not distinguish in which areas they operate, he said. Such attacks on our capital haven't occurred since 1941. In an address Friday morning, Zelensky said Ukrainians were showing their true heroism, but that they were defending their country alone, as the most powerful country in the world looked on from a distance, an apparent reference to the United States. The sanctions imposed on Russia by Western powers are not enough to get these foreign troops off our soil, he said. A few hours later, Zelensky released a message in which he again called for Russian President Vladimir Putin to hold direct talks. There is fighting all over Ukraine now. Let's sit down at the negotiation table to stop the people's deaths, he said, speaking in Russian. Shortly afterward, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Russia was ready to send a delegation to Minsk, the capital of Belarus, for talks with Ukraine, Russian state news agency RIA Novosti reported. As you know, today the president of Ukraine Zelensky announced his readiness to discuss the neutral status of Ukraine, Peskov said, according to RIA. Initially, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the purpose of the operation was to help the LPR and the DPR, including through the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine. And this, in fact, is an integral component of neutral status. LPR and DPR refer to the Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, separatist areas in eastern Ukraine recently recognized by Russia as independent. Ukrainian presidential advisor Alexei Arestovich told CNN Friday that the Ukrainian government was considering the proposal to hold talks in Minsk.